return to agenda sub-item 11.8, follow-up to the high-level meeting of the United Nations General Assembly on health-related issues. Before the lunch break, we had completed our debate and listened to statements made by non-state actors. I shall therefore now ask the Secretariat to respond. I first give the floor to Dr. Yamamoto, Assistant Director, Healthier Populations. Dr. Yamamoto, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you very much. First, I would like to say that we really appreciate about very important comments and guidance and strong support from the Member States and partners. Member States highlighted the 2018 political declaration, which includes 14 new commitments by Member States. Member States underline the importance of the 5x5 NCD agenda framework, multi-sector or life course approach, and fiscal measurement, and health literacy, education, empowerment of the community, as well as our WHO's commitment to support the countries. Member States shared their efforts and experience to their effort for the NCD prevention and control, and there are a lot of progress, but still Member States mentioned about progress and investment is not enough. They mentioned a lot about mental health, tobacco control, alcohol, reduction of the harmful use of alcohol, sugar, salt intake, physical inactivities. I have two questions. One is question from Thailand about WHO alcohol selling in our WHO cafeteria. WHO is reviewing and continuously reviewing about it. Also, we have a question from the United States about the tools. WHO will analyze the country's experience on the reformulation of the processed food and propose benchmarks for it. And after that, we will discuss with the industry about that area, and we will request a voluntary basis pledges. This is exactly the same procedure for we did for the trans fat. So I really appreciate your support and comment. WHO will continue to work with the Member States and take our role to normative function and country support together with regional offices and country offices. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Yamamoto. I now give the floor to Dr. Ren, Assistant Director General, Universal Health Coverage, Communicable and Non-Communicable Diseases. Dr. Ren, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And thank you very much to Member States and partners for great contribution in the intervention and guidance you have provided to us in the morning session. I wish to recognize the many national success stories which Member States has just shared with floor. I will inspire more other countries to take similar actions in your country. Your commitment to address NCD and mental health are non-costs. They are investing in people. They protect the integrity of the health systems. They are investment in health, in the economy's growth and human development. I would like to thank you to the Member States for your support to WHO's first special global initiative on NCDs, that is global initiative on mental health and global health initiative to prevent premature deaths for NCDs, and cervical cancer elimination and global elimination on childhood cancer. This initiative provides good opportunity for synergy and doing much more than we can, and to form multi-sectoral partnership aligned with civil society and private sector. We hear your clearest request to WHO. One question from Thailand about alcohol. On the harmful use of alcohol, we will start a global survey in 2 weeks. We will also convene the second WHO Global Forum on Alcohol, Drugs, and Ethics Behavior on June 2019 in Geneva. All member states will be fully engaged in the process. The outcomes will be served as inputs into the review of global strategy to reduce the harmful use of alcohol. So we welcome the decision in the draft decision about the review of global strategy. We will scale up our technical assistance to the countries. You will see that in our global programs for 2020 and 2021, the demand for technical assistance for NCD is absolutely one of the highest requests made by WHO. We will accelerate our normal work. We will launch our 4 new world reports on cancer, tobacco, epilepsy, and physical activity. We will also finalize our work on the development of best buys for mental health and air pollution, which we will consider at next year's governing body meeting. We will strengthen our data collection to close the data gaps, as you clearly pointed out in this morning's session. As a part of the transformation process in headquarters, WHO has established an internal horizontal network on NCD's function to improve strategic coordination of delivery of technical assistance to help countries reaching SDG target 3.4. We call this network NCD Wing. It's led by DDG Susanna Jack. The purpose of this network to ensure the optimal internal coordination of WHO work on NCD, cross-organization, all divisions in headquarters. One of our first tasks is to develop our common delivery plan for the annual basis. This will result, I'm very confident, this internal mechanism will result in very strong WHO NCD programs with good coordination and alignments. Let me conclude by underlining the NCDs are absolutely largest and least funded areas facing globally, not only at the global level, also in the country level. So I would like to use this opportunity to thank all the countries and member states, partners, and philanthropies and private sector for your great contribution and support on NCD through the flexible and earmarked contribution to WHO. It will be much appreciated if we continue to receive your fund and support in coming years. So I must stop here and thank you very much again for your contribution and guidance.
I thank you, Dr. Ran. I now have the privilege to give the floor to the Director General to respond. Dr. Tedros, you have the floor.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I would like to join my colleagues Naoko and Ren in thanking you for your contributions and guidance. We fully agree with you that, as you know, the NCD problem is now already a growing epidemic in all countries. It's a global epidemic. 70% of deaths globally are due to NCDs. So I think more commitment, as you rightly said, more commitment is needed more than ever before. And that's why we have the NCD Commission. And I would like to use this opportunity actually for the 4 leaders who are leading the NCD Commission, Uruguay, Sri Lanka, Russia, and Finland, for their leadership on this. We hope this commission will help us in getting the necessary political commitment that we need. And of course, a follow-up of the high-level meeting we had last year. Then on the risk factors specific, as you know, physical activity, I just would like to comment on that. Physical activity, lack of physical activity, tobacco, diet, and alcohol are the key ones. Of course, we're adding air pollution to that. And of course, we have to address these risk factors country by country. But regional activities could also help. For instance, something that we see as a very positive development is the Caribbean Moves program that started in Jamaica, but which is becoming now a regional movement. I think for many of the risk factors, not only country by country, I think supporting each other regionally and making it a regional movement and then into a global movement would really help. So having said this, since many of the issues were raised by my colleagues, I would like to focus on one issue, the amendment on the resolution that was proposed by Thailand. I have an alternative, if you agree, which I will read, without opening the resolution. It's better to keep the resolution as is, if you can help us with that and if you can agree. But the Secretariat can take responsibility of the consultations and also the reporting by 2020. So the text that I will read, that will be put on the record as part of our discussion, will read as to elaborate a report to Health Assembly in 2020 through the Executive Board in full consultation and engagement with Member States on the implementation of WHO's global strategy to reduce the harmful use of alcohol during the first decade since its endorsement and the way forward. I have listened to many member states and there is no agreement on changing the resolution. There is pro-opening the resolution and against it. So that's why we're proposing this for the Secretariat, not only to submit a report by 2020 through the Executive Board, but to make also regular, full consultation with and engagement with member states. Back to you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Dr. Tedros. Could I give the floor to Thailand?
A couple of points. Thank you, DG. First question to ADG Yamamoto. You said you are reviewing and continue to review the timeline, the policies, the visual policies on sales, on selling in cafeteria or in the visual sponsor international conference of alcohol. My delegation wish to be enlightened. When is the timeline? Not keeping us waiting indefinitely. Second to DG comment. I appreciate your leadership, DG. But my delegation from Southeast Asia, the whole region, as well as EMRO, has fully committed and it's quite noisy at the back. Fully commit that this is quite good text that both region has introduced amendment plus 4 more member states, Philippines, Malaysia, Panama and Vietnam. We see that alcohol is everyone's business. It's not the European Union business. It's not the Brazil or not the Australian business. You have to involve with every countries to raise and to address the common challenge. Romania has said clearly that European is facing challenge from alcohol, and per capita consumption in Europe is the highest in the world, and there's no reverse trend. It is not IOGT business, it's everyone's business. Therefore, we strongly wish that this amendment is very positive. There's no harm. I'd like to seek flexibility from EU. Kenneth or Romania, you can enlighten us what is your position. Also, Uruguay, Christina, please enlighten us. What is your solution? Chair, without raising the fact by EU, I invite EU to speak.
May I confirm, Thailand, that you make one specific question about the timeline, and the other one is about the text of the amendment. You were asking the comments from Romania as representing EU and Uruguay. Am I correct? Okay. So could I invite Romania to make a comment on the second point? So you have to ask. No, not now.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We've listened carefully to the discussion that just took place here. We know it's a very important topic for all regions, and we would like to express our support for the way forward proposed by the Director General. Thank you.
Thank you, Romania. Does Uruguay have anything to say or add at this point? Thank you.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Dr. Virosh, to put me on the spot. So, as you all know, we have made extensive consultations on this draft decision, and we had adopted a very balanced decision at the EU. It is a decision because we understand that we have already negotiated enough and we have taken a lot of political commitments already. And what we want now from the Secretary is more action. And that is why we put forward this decision to ask for more action on other areas. We recognize that the agenda of alcohol is a very important one, and we want WHO to continue doing more and helping member states with that. But we would really, we see that the solution given by the Director General is the most elegant one. We would like to support it. We understand that every time we ask WHO to make a report, they have to consult and they have to gather the information, and they will do it. And so what the DG is doing now is making the commitment that will be written that WHO will consult and engage fully with member states to prepare this report, that we will have the time to analyze and then continue guiding the work of the Secretariat on this very important agenda issue. So we would like to thank the Director General for this solution that it's agreeable to us. Thank you very much.
It's Thailand.
Thank you, Chair. Allow me to ask DG, what does it mean by in full consultation? What is the modus operandi? So that means you have some text, you put on the website, public consultation by member state with a URL and password consultation. What is your mode of operation so that my delegation on behalf of Southeast Asia have more information for further informed, evidence-informed decisions, sir?
Could I ask the Director General to respond?
Thank you. Professor Viroj, this is very important, and I fully agree, by the way, the alcohol problem is everybody's problem, and I underline that. Then on the specific question, the consultation will be a combination of face-to-face consultation, plus in order to broaden it, we will have public but broad web-based consultation too. That would really help.
Thailand, is the response from the Director General sufficient to your question? Okay. So we will now consider the draft decision, EB, Thailand.
We are waiting for response from Dr. Yamamoto.
Okay, I forgot it. Dr. Yamamoto, the floor to respond about the timeline, alcohol in WHO cafeteria.
Thank you very much, Chair. So the cafeteria and alcohol issues is a part of the transformation process, and we will work in the progress. So in the coming month, we will surely address the issues. So thank you very much, you point out.
Thailand, is this sufficient? Okay? Okay. Oops, you're raising the flag?
Yes. Yes, sufficient enough, and waiting for further clarification. Back microphone.
So we will now consider the draft decision EB 144-1. Could I understand with the clearly stated DG statement, the Committee A is prepared to approve this decision? I see no objection, so the decision is approved.